Let's go, Dolphins! You won't believe what's happening with the Miami Dolphins defense, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change your expectations for this season. We're talking about a unit that could become the most feared pass rush in the entire NFL, but there's a twist. Because buried beneath all the preseason hype is a harsh truth. If this defensive line falters, even slightly, the entire team could collapse. And the scary part? The Dolphins front office knows it too. They built everything, and I mean everything, around a high-stakes bet that this 7-man line will be unstoppable. But there's more. Some of Miami's starters last season? Simply embarrassing. And yet, these guys were taking real shots while the franchise claimed to be chasing a Super Bowl. Chris Greer, who somehow still has a job, let it happen. But now it's a completely different story. A tidal wave is building, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. I have everything you need to know about the Dolphins' shocking transformation of the pressure, how it was rebuilt from scratch, who's healthy, who's excelling, and why this could be the year we finally see a defense worthy of Miami's Super Bowl dreams. But before I tell you everything, please enjoy this if you've ever yelled at your TV during a Dolphins game. And if you've been with this team for over 20 years, I want to see you in the comments saying, "Go, Dolphins." My heart bleeds blue and orange. Let's go. All right, let's get to the news. The Dolphins' pass rush in 2025 is shaping up to be downright terrifying. We're not just talking about being good, we're talking about redefining dominance in the trenches. The core unit of Chop Robinson, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Zach Sealer, and Matthew Judon is a nightmare factory for opposing quarterbacks. And we're not even factoring in potential rookie surprises like Kenneth Grant or Jordan Phillips. What's so jaw-dropping about this front seven is not just the names, but the depth, health, and raw potential. It's the most powerful unit on the roster, yes, more than the offense. If this group underperforms, the defense collapses. And if the defense collapses, forget about the playoffs, let alone a Super Bowl run. Greer and the coaching staff are banking hard on this pass rush being elite, and for once, they might actually be right. Last season's pass rush was borderline embarrassing. Despite being top tier in areas like pass yards per attempt, third down stops, fifth, and EPA per play, ninth, Miami ranked 27th in sacks and 27th in total takeaways. That's unacceptable. You can't win championships when you're not hitting the quarterback or forcing turnovers. If this defense repeats that sack total in 2025, don't be shocked if Miami ends up picking in the top 7 of the draft. But here's the good news. Massive upgrades have landed. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb are finally back and fully healthy. No more scraping the bottom of the barrel with guys like Emmanuel Ogbah, Tyus Bowser, and Quentin Bell. Those guys were not starting caliber edge rushers, and yet Miami trotted them out there like they were. No wonder the team struggled to generate pressure. Let's break this down even further. Chubb was 12th in pressures and sacks, 17th in PRP, pass rush productivity, and 19th in pass rush win percentage before his brutal knee injury last season. Jalen Phillips? He was on track for 14 sacks before his Achilles injury. Despite playing half the season, he still posted above-average efficiency stats in pressures and win rate. Now, both are reportedly 100% healthy and hungry. That's massive. Chubb hasn't played a full game since 2023. Phillips has barely seen the field over the last 2 years. These guys are rested, healed, and dangerous. And let's talk about the sophomore leap from Chop Robinson. Last year, from week 8 onward, he was a top 5 edge rusher in the NFL. That's not speculation, that's pro football focused data. 4th in total pressures, 3rd in win rate, 3rd in PRP. He was dominant while playing next to backups. Now imagine him rotating with or playing alongside elite edge talent like Chubb and Phillips. That's a scary thought. This year, I'm predicting double-digit sacks for Chop, no question. The guy's first step is lightning. His bend is elite. He's going to ruin Sundays for a lot of offensive tackles. And then you add in Zach Sealer, who's coming off back-to-back double-digit sack seasons, something he did last year without even having real edge support. He's top half in every major defensive tackle pressure metric. Now he won't be double-teamed as much because you can't double everybody on this line. Somebody's getting free every single snap. This isn't just a bunch of hype from fans or bloggers either. ESPN recently projected sack totals and ranked the top 50 pass rushers for 2025. The Dolphins were the only team with 4 players in the top 50. That's right, Phillips and Chubb at 8.7 sacks, Sealer at 7.1, and Chop Robinson at 6.5, and we all know he's going to crush that number. No other team had 4 players on that list. That's historic. Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins' defensive line coach, said it best, this pass rush is coming in waves. You're going to see 30 to 40 snaps per game from the top 4 edge rushers. That's constant pressure. Offensive lines will get no break. You rotate in Phillips, Chubb, Juden, and Chop, and you always have fresh legs terrorizing the quarterback. This is Ravens and 49ers level dominance we're talking about, folks. And don't forget the Week 1 schedule. Colts, Patriots, Jets, Panthers, Chargers, Browns. None of those teams have elite offensive lines. Some are flat-out disasters. We're going to see this Dolphins pass rush feast right out of the gate. Week 1 could set the tone for the entire season. And here's where things get even more intriguing. Because while the edge unit is stealing the headlines, and rightfully so, the interior defensive line might just be the unsung powerhouse that unlocks everything for this Miami Dolphins defense. Let's start with the monster in the middle, Zach Sieler. If you're a real fan, you already know he's been the most underrated defensive tackle in the entire NFL for the past 2 years. But for everyone else, listen up. This man has quietly racked up back-to-back double-digit sack seasons, and last year he did it without Christian Wilkins next to him and without any real help off the edge. Now, he's going to be surrounded by elite edge rushers and another solid piece in Benito Jones. You simply can't double-team him anymore. Not unless you want Chop or Chubb wrecking your quarterback from the outside. Sieler ranks in the top half of every meaningful pass rush metric for interior defenders: pass rush win rate, pressure rate, hurries. This isn't a guy who lucks into a few sacks. He wins his matchups consistently. And when offensive lines start sliding protection outside to try and handle Phillips and Chubb, Sieler is going to feast. This is a game-changing dynamic, and Dolphins fans should be fired up about it. Now let's bring Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips into the conversation. These two aren't just depth, they're situational weapons. Grant is massive, explosive off the snap, and can occupy multiple blockers. Jordan Phillips brings experience and disruption from the inside. Neither of them needs to play 40-plus snaps a game. They're there to rotate in, keep everyone fresh, and create chaos in spurts. And that's all they need to do because the Dolphins are finally deep at every spot on the defensive line. Anthony Weaver summed it up perfectly: waves. That's the identity. Miami's going to hit offenses in waves, relentless, punishing, exhausting waves. No more tired pass rushers dragging late in games. With this depth, they'll stay fresh. Imagine this. It's 3rd and long in the 4th quarter. You've been battling Chop, Juden, Phillips, and Sieler all game, and now here comes a fresh Bradley Chubb crashing down off the edge while Jordan Phillips blows up the pocket. That's not just difficult to block, it's demoralizing. And let's not overlook Matthew Juden. 6 sacks last year in Atlanta, and yes, maybe he took a step back from his peak in New England, but he's still a high-level rotational piece who's now a luxury, not a necessity. Juden won't need to carry the load, he just needs to take advantage of mismatches, and he will. He's too experienced, too polished, and now he gets to operate without being the focal point of an offensive line's protection scheme. That's deadly. The Dolphins' defense is built to dominate the trenches. That's how the best defenses in the NFL win games. Look at the Eagles, the 49ers, the Ravens, they all built from the inside out, and they all control games because of it. Now the Dolphins are stepping into that elite category. This unit is built to wear offenses down, break them mentally and physically, and force turnovers in high-pressure situations. And that's the other part of the equation, turnovers. Last year Miami was just 27th in takeaways. That's got to change. And it will change if this pass rush gets home more often. Quarterbacks make mistakes when they're rushed, when they're hit, when they're on the move. That's where the secondary starts to feast. You want more picks from Jalen Ramsey, Javon Holland, and Cam Smith? Give them a pass rush that forces quarterbacks into bad decisions. It all starts up front. We've already seen glimpses of this dominance in preseason. Go back to the first play against the Jaguars in the 3rd preseason game. Dolphins line up with Chubb,